So my name is Warren McDougall, and I'm an Indigenous clinical counselor. I specialize in stress-related illness, anxiety, depression, grief, addiction, trauma. Out of four boys, I'm the only one surviving. I was the oldest, and so that's what brought me to the work that I do today is understanding and recovering from that, and now looking to give back and support others. Well, for me, RJ is a way of being, a way of living. And it's a path to healing, not just from harms that are done to each other, but in the field I work in, it's also important in mental health. That sense of connection, of belonging, of mattering, is at the core of healing for anxiety, depression, grief, trauma, and repairing harms in relationships in between people, right? When we have harm that's occurred, letting everybody know that's involved, the person who committed the harm, the person who has been harmed directly, or the people, and then the community around them. Everybody matters. Everybody has a chance to come and say, what do I need? What do you need? How do we get to a place where we can all heal and move forward from this? You know, the things that you most regret saying or doing in your life, the things that you think might be the most awful that you wish you could change, were at that moment your best effort to get your needs met, and using the strategies and skills you had available at the time, what was handed down to you. And sometimes, as in what was the case for me in early part of my life, the trauma that gets handed down. And it's not even a conscious thing. Like we know through research now that my stress reactions that are impacted on me today or imprinted through my experiences can be passed down epigenetically for at least 2 generations. And in Indigenous teachings, we say it's 7, and we call them blood memories. That doesn't mean that's an excuse, but it really is an emphasis for me to remove blaming from what we do. Because the only purpose of blame is to look for someone to punish. And then once we punish them, we wipe our hands and we think we're done. But as I shared with my own case, if all you do is punish me, it just gets worse because there's no healing that happens there. There's no understanding. My introduction to restorative justice was personal. It wasn't through direct contact with anybody they had harmed, but it came late in my experience with the justice system. It was my 4th time being incarcerated. I was serving a life sentence, and the 3 times I had been in before where the mandate was just punish and oppress me to teach me a lesson so that I wouldn't repeat the behavior, only made things worse because my stuff was coming from trauma. Trauma is pain. You add more pain to that, it doesn't make you choose not to do it. The part of your brain that knows it's wrong gets turned off when trauma gets triggered. So it just makes it worse. You're pouring gas on the fire. So for me, it was a profound shift in my life and my way of being with people and knowing people and being able to trust people and know that I could belong and matter and contribute something that was of value to others, which I didn't believe in before. And so that started a shift in my life. It's been a long path of healing and learning and growing. But that's why I'm on this path. For me, without restorative justice, I probably wouldn't be alive. I definitely wouldn't be doing the work I'm doing now. I most likely would have ended up like my brothers, succumbed to trauma and substance use and an early death. I'm so grateful for it in my life, and I carry it with me in the way that I do my clinical work as a therapist, and I do advocacy work for RJ agencies to try and help people understand what a shift in practice can mean, and that, you know, when we recognize the dignity and the hurt in people, it gives them a safe place to explore what's happening for them. And that's where they're going to make changes. If we can't accept the things that are not going well in their lives, if we judge them and try to disown them, we never look at them, we never understand them, we can't change them. They just keep coming up and coming up and coming up. And so part of what RG is recognizing what's going well and what's not going well for others, and giving them space to see that it's okay, that it's not their fault that they got there. But you have a responsibility now to understand what happened and change something so that, you know, these outcomes don't happen anymore.